Hello, this is the level 1 Bowspring flow. We'll start standing in the middle of our mat in earth pose. So feet are hip distance apart, feet parallel with each other. Let the toes feel heavy, touching down on the earth. More body weight in the front of your foot. Heels are light. Find a bend in the knee or a hollow, a cupping action from behind the knee. Find a hollow in the front of the groins as well, and maintain this hollow throughout. Feel an expansion of the rib cage with each breath in. Inhale. Expand the rib cage all the way around. Exhale. Maintain that expansive quality. Inhale. And exhale a little bit faster. Inhale. And exhale. Expanding the rib cage so it's barrel-like in quality. All the way around. Even the low ribs get an expansion here, especially the low ribs. Let your arms float forward gently in the forward plane of the body. When the arms are in front of the rib cage, we can expand the back. When the seed hands float forward, the back heart can expand. The back heart is the place between the shoulder blades. Your rib cage inflates so much that your shoulders are merely perched on top of it. Not falling down, but actually lifting and expanding and separating. Shoulders broad, rib cage full and tall. Your head lifts, crown lifts towards the ceiling, and even the roof of your mouth floats up. Eyes come to the horizon, centered in the sockets. In this light position, you might feel an urge for a gentle movement or pulse, and take advantage of that. A little pulse, a little floating movement lets you know that you are indeed in the bowspring posture. Sit the hips back deeper. Let your seed hands rise to the horizon. And we'll go up and down, pulsing, pumping your breath all the while. Knees resist as you go up and down to maintain a mounting of the glutes. Pause. And start to gently sway, arms side to side, seaweed sway. See if you can move the upper body independent of the bottom. Sit the hips back. Dig your right foot into the ground and energetically smear it back. Now lift it off the floor and step it back. High lunge. Make the butt behind both knees, and we do a pump here as well. Knees still resisting to mound the glutes. And drag the right foot again. Bring it on top of the left knee. Sit your hips back. Keep your heart full. Bring two seed hands together to make a big circle with your arms. Feel the back heart get bigger. The expansion of the back heart keeps your balance here. Head up, heart up, hips back. Slide right foot all the way to the ground. Touch down your paw a little bit in front of the standing leg. Sit your hips back, mound the glutes by digging your right paw into the earth, dragging it back. Gives you some stability and rootedness. Reach arms forward, chin up bar your arms. And then bring hands to a prayer position, place it on top of the head, crown hands. Let your crown be something that you can push into to get longer in the torso. And then dig your right paw or right foot into the earth. Sit your hips back, root more. Inhale, lift, head into crown. Exhale, hips back. Release arms to the horizon. Lift the right foot. Step it back to the place. And assimilate an earth pose, just where we started. We scan the body here. Head lifts. Palate lifts. Horizon eyes. Shoulders perched and broad. Elbows wide, pointing outward. Find the hollows and the springs in your arms. A lift in the armpits. An expansion circumferentially in the rib cage. A crease in the front of the groin. A hollow in the back of the knees. A bend in the ankle. Heavy toes fall down. Light heels provide a pulse. Weight your right foot. And then dig your left paw into the earth. Smear it back. We call that action dig drag. It activates the back side of the leg. And we do that before we pick up any foot. Dig drag left, pick it up. Send your hips back first, and then touch back to a high lunge. Notice the short stance in the high lunge. We don't go that far back. Hips back, belly long, and we pulse here. Inhale up, exhale down. Dig, drag left foot, lift. Cross ankle squat. Two seed hands together. Push your seeds together to create a resistance, to broaden the back. At the same time, lifting the armpits and opening the front. Mounding glutes here. Now slide left leg all the way down. Left paw touches down in front of the right. Really put a lot of that paw on the earth. Dig it in, get rooted. Arms come to chin up bar to start. Find equal tone. And then palms press together, crown hands. Press your head, lift it into the crown, get long in the belly. Sit your hips back, get rooted, and pulse. Release the arms to the horizon. Dig, drag the left paw. Step to the place. Swivel heels in. Deep squat here. Heels lift off the floor. Swivel heels back. Reach forward. Forward fold. So you can use blocks here, or you can just hover your heart. Swivel heels in. Hover the heart to vertical and come to stand. Swivel heels out. Dig drag your right foot. Step behind you. Knees resist all the way as you lower down to one knee. Parallel park, which means shift the hips to the right and then step back, left foot. Spring load. So when we spring load, we power up the glutes by sitting them back. Spring load the hips back, knees resist, glutes are mounting. Heart full, belly, maximum length. Let your heart float you as you touch down. 10 fingertips, fingernails first, and then slide to bright hands, or we also call them spring hands. All fours pose. This is a good time to walk the knees back a little bit to ensure that you've got maximum space for a long belly here. If you're on a yoga mat, your hands should be at least the width of the mat and 1 finger distance between each finger of your hand. Squeeze the base palms and soften the fingers. Let your elbows point outward. This is especially important if your tendency is to lock them out and roll them forward. Check your elbows here. Elbows point out. There's a little cupping action at the eye of the elbow. And there's a hollow in the armpit. So we simplify the bowspring here in all fours pose. Starting with the palms, spring in the elbows, a cupping in the armpits, a doming of the back heart, a lengthening of the neck. Now press the tops of the feet into the floor. The ankles lift off the floor slightly. That's your ankle hollow. Let your knees resist and let your glutes mound upward. If you're familiar with traditional yoga, this could be seen as a combination of cat and cow at the same time. So I'm getting full in the upper back and I'm arching inward in the lower back. Keep the height of the back heart. The whole rib cage stays tall. Reach your right seed hand forward, touch down on the mat, and then lower the right elbow to the floor. Keep your heart high all the while. It takes some thought to do that. So keep the ribs high. Left seed touches down. Lower left elbow. Keep the ribs high. And you can lift your wrist off the floor here too, while the seed hands press down. That gives you a wrist hollow, just like your ankle hollow. Mound the glutes upward. Tuck the toes under. And lift the knees off the floor. Knees resist each other. And lower back down. Once more, this challenging pose, crouching sphinx. Tuck the toes under. Knees resist. Stay tall in the heart. Lift the knees. And then lower down. Let your back heart float. Both arms go straighter. And walk the palms to spring hands. Simplify all fours pose. Check the back of your neck is long here. Tuck your toes under. Maintain the alignment of all fours as you lift up to crouching cat. Find a pulse here. Knees resist. Glutes mounding. There's a separation of the sit bones. Keep the heart full. Keep the heart tall. Lower the knees down into the alignment. Reset all fours. Spring load, hips back. Float the heart, knees resist. Hollows under the ankles. Float up, high knees. Chin up, bar your arms. And then find ecstasy. Dome hands touch the side of the head. Still a cupping of the armpits and a fullness of the back. Elbows are narrow here, so you can see both elbows with your eyes. Resist the urge to widen the elbows, because doing so makes your back heart smaller. And we want to keep that full and light and buoyant. Sit the hips back and crescent to the right. You can pulse your hips back here. And let your left ribs rise and arc and open. Bowing your belly, arcing the ribs. Inhale up, exhale down. And inhale, come back center, other side. Arc, left ribs high. And come back center. Two arms go to the horizon, high knees. Step right foot forward. Pulse your hips back. Really dig your right paw into the earth here. It gives you the ability to turn on the back side of the right leg. Heart nice and light. We'll switch sides. Parallel park hips to the left. Step back right. Parallel park hips to the right. Step forward left. Bonus points if you land your toes first. Pulse. Digging and smearing that left paw into the earth. And then step back left. Spring load your hips back. Touch down, fingertips first. Dome hands slide to spring hands. Tuck your toes under. And lift your knees off the floor just enough to twist your toes and knees to the left. Sit your hips down on the floor by your heels. Supine twist. Resist the urge to collapse in the back here. Keep it full. Find a pulse. And tuck the toes under. Swivel feet and knees to the right. Sit the hips down on the floor by your heels. Maintain the spring in the arm and the hands. Rib cage expanded all the way around. Find a gentle pulse. Tilt the left ear towards the left shoulder. Slide to your side, letting your rib cage stay buoyant the whole way. Roll over to your back and supine shift, hips, heart, head, one body part at a time back to your center space. Reach your seed hands towards the ceiling. Feel maximum contact between the back ribs and the floor. Bring your hands to chin-up bar with dome hands on top of your shoulders. Elbows point towards the ceiling. So it's like you're playing a piano over your head on the floor. Walk your feet towards your buttocks for bridge pose. Lift the belly button. Engage the feet, heels push inward. Glutes engaged here. Heels might float a bit. Belly lifts, but hips drop. Groins deep. So it's not about thrusting our hips towards the ceiling. And release. It's subtle. Cross your arms over each other. Give yourself a big hug. Extend your legs long. Then extend the arms down the sides of the body with the palms down.